Eventually, Larry and Saul reach Strawberry Island, but they're late. The only landing spot is a sandy beach surrounded by dangerous rocks. Now, in the darkness, they face the ferocious tidal currents swirling around the island, giving the area its nickname, the Witch's Cauldron.
We're here. Witch's Cauldron.
What?
Strawberry Island is dead ahead.
Where?
Up ahead, can you hear it?
Saul, all I hear is thrashing waves.
This is the plan. There is only one beach on this island, only one slot in between the rocks. We can't miss that slot. I'll paddle in first. When I land on the beach, I'll wave my flashlight. That's your signal.
We're gonna land on that.
Aim for the flashlight and paddle hard. You got it? Larry, you got it!
Yeah, aim for the flashlight.
I can see big, jagged rocks that don't look good to land on. It's just really hairy out there.
The flashlight I have, it's just not that bright. I see the rocks in front of me, and all I'm thinking is, oh, shoot.
What?
Wait!
I hear him yelling. I can't tell what he's doing. I'm just like, what? What?
Don't come in!
What are you saying? I can't hear what you're saying.
Do not come in!
Larry sees my headlamp kind of waving around a little bit, and so he's figuring I must be waving him in.
Larry!
I could see him coming in. He's aiming for the flashlight, just like I told him to, and that flashlight's on my head.
The waves are smashing our boats on top of us and on top of the rocks. Very scary situation. Totally caught us off guard. It just happened in a split second.
You okay? What the hell was that? You tell me that! We crashed! We crashed! I stepped on Get me the hell out of here! They gotta reach those boats. You really need the boat. Yes! We need them! Well, we're dead! We just get the hell out of here. You don't get it, do you? We're not gonna get out of here! We don't get there! Get out of here! Get out!
I'm realizing we're definitely in a survival situation here, and we got to get our stuff up here. We got 4 days worth of food on the boats. Got enough fresh water for maybe 2 or 3 days. Without it, we're screwed.
I thought you said there was a beach here. No, I lost the beach. Saul, how do you lose a beach? I misjudged it, okay? I got you.
Just hours into their sea kayaking adventure, Larry and Saul have shipwrecked on a deserted island.
I'm looking forward to getting warm. We could have been killed, but we weren't.
As much as Saul and I both seek out these fun, dangerous, athletic situations, we don't have a death wish. Basically, at this point, I take my dry bag out, and my dry bag is no longer a dry bag. My dry bag is a soaked bag. All my stuff is soaked at this point. Everything.
Larry, what happened?
All my stuff is wet.
Well, obviously. Did you even seal this properly? This is broken. No, it's not broken. You didn't seal it properly. What the hell is all this? This is all cotton. How could you ever think for a winter trip packing all cotton?
At that point, he was probably a little angry, and for probably good reason. My sleeping bag, all my clothes, all the gear I had, it's all just drenched. His stuff was fine.
Get into this. This is your bed. I have dry clothes. I can sleep in them.
Saul knows that in the cold and the wet, Larry's cotton clothes and his sleeping bag will take days to dry.
Mark's my cousin. I basically met him for the first time as a young teenager. He was about 14 years older than me, almost like a big brother, but we would get together to do a camping trip here and there.
Right in the middle of the cat? Yeah. Oh, man.
Rob was about 26 years old at the time. Not so much a little brother or a little cousin.
It's perfect sailing weather. But the winds across the Sea of Cortez are notoriously difficult to predict, adding a twisted thrill to the journey. In the dead calm, the heat builds to over 120 degrees, and there's no chance to cool down in this sea.
Watch out for hammerheads.
You mentioned sharks, you didn't mention hammerheads. Weren't hammerheads like the psychopath of the shark world?
Would you be at peace with yourself if you had a head shaped like that?
The Sea of Cortez is not a place to be taken lightly. I had seen a documentary about hundreds of hammerhead sharks moving through this part of the Sea of Cortez. Hammerheads are one of the few species of known man-eaters in the world and are known to be aggressive. This is something we want to keep our eyes open for.
You imagine catching one of those on the end of your line?
Yeah, maybe drag us into the nearest island. Be like Jaws.
3 hours later, the wind picks up as swiftly as it disappeared. But the dead calm was a warning, a forerunner to something much more sinister on the horizon.
Don't like the look of those clouds. Something's kicking up over there.
Coming out of the north was some kind of a squall or weather front, so we were kind of worried that, wow, what if this is something big rolling through that was not expected and that's going to be here for a while.
We might have to forget about the crossing and head back. What? We might have to. Look, small savage storms. Squalls. We get caught in one, we're sitting ducks. I'm sorry, Rob. I'm turning around.
Look. I think we got water on the portside pontoon.
A small crack has opened up in the pontoon as it pounds the waves. There's no way to bail, and the catamaran starts to become dangerously unstable in the squall.
One big gust of wind, which was probably approaching about 60 or so miles per hour, hit us. We ended up in the water, tangled up in the sheets with tattered sails in the water and, rigging everywhere. I thought, oh my God, this thing is going to crush my head. And so I thought for sure this boat's going to take my head off. Absolutely, I was scared.
Is it me? Is it now really cold in here? Let's get the cat back up.
We were both getting very cold, on the verge of hypothermia. I was shivering uncontrollably. I was very uncoordinated.
With the shredded sails and stricken pontoon, the catamaran keeps capsizing as Rob and Mark battle with the waves, their gear and the water barrel drift away.
everything we're doing, everything we're trying is going wrong. And I said, well, what do we do now? Just die?
And when he said that, that brought in basically a flood of emotion where you're going, you know, this could be it. And what a ridiculous way to go.
They're weak, and in this storm, a 12-mile swim to the mainland is out of the question. With no boat, the threat of being eaten by hammerheads is now all too real. Using every last ounce of energy they possess, Mark and Rob head for the closest island. It's now their only hope of survival.
Getting up onto the shore was so incredible in terms of just the mental relief of having dry land under your feet.
Dave's first task is to get Jim out of danger. He has to lower Jim's dead weight 1,000 feet down the near vertical rock face of the elevator shaft.
Over several hours, I would lower him below me, and I'd drop Jim down another full length of rope, maybe 165 feet.
Jim, I need you to wake up!
Jim!
Okay, here we go, we're going again.
It takes Dave the best part of 5 hours to lower Jim down to relative safety.
Last bit, Jim. Jim. Damn it, Jim. Stay with me. Stay with me, Jim.
I have no memories of the fall whatsoever, none. The first thing real I remember was Dave screaming at me.
At that point, I realized this has gone from bad to even worse. I know with a head injury, you know, if your brain starts to swell, fluids build up, that can pretty much be the end of you. There's all these different things going through your mind. If the weather turns and I don't get word out, we're going to be in a world of hurt. If I go travel alone on the glacier, am I just going to fall in a hole and Jim's left by himself anyway? You don't know what the right answer is.
By morning, Jim is semi-conscious, and Dave has made a decision. He's going for help.
Do you think you can light the stove?
Don't go.
Next thing I remember was in the morning, Dave's talking to me. He's telling me he's gonna leave. I told him, I don't want you to leave me. Don't leave me.
I gotta go, Jim. I'm going for help. There's a skid up the gorge. Maybe there's people there. They might have a radio. We'll get a plane and be out of here in no time. I'll be back in a few hours, okay?
Leaving a partner in that kind of situation is, you might come back and he'll be buried or he'll be dead.
I don't know who I am. I'm freezing. My forehead's on fire, my body's cold. I'm laying there, I'm pounding, my heart just going boom, boom, boom. The whole body's just going boom, boom, boom. I can remember my fevered brow in the snow and still being warm, but my body freezing. You know, I can remember that feeling.
Miles away, alone and exposed on the mountain, Jim is losing his grip on reality again.
Black dreams, just as black as can be, you know. I didn't know who I was with, where I was at. I didn't even know I was a climber.
Loretta Tower, Mooney, November 201, Juliet Mike. I'm about 30 miles out. I see a lot of weather building in front of me. Can you give me an idea of the weather at the airport?
I had kind of a premonition that something was going to go on with this, something was going to happen. I was beginning to get pretty concerned. I couldn't raise anyone.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna take us through this. We'll make better time.
Jim thinks it's just a squall, but he's actually flying into a violent storm.
It was just a real weird mix of waking up and trying to figure out where in the story I was in the opera and what was going on in the plane at that point.
It was alarming because it was so sudden. I didn't see any indications that it was that severe until we were in it.
Jim, what's happening?
It was one of those types of storms that it was getting worse by the second. And then it started to get turbulent, and I think I saw a lightning strike or two really close.
We're in the storm, and there's no up, there's no down.
I looked at everybody else's faces. They kind of had a look of concern, but they're looking at me to see if I have a look of concern.
Take us up.
Good, good. I'd like to have my stomach back.
As soon as we were heading the other direction, the sky got blue, the turbulence stopped, the rain stopped.
Everybody okay?
I didn't think you felt the bumps in first class.
Their sense of relief doesn't last long.
It was very alarming when the engine quit. It just sort of grenaded.
What's happened, son?
I don't know.
There's a single propeller blade stuck in the vertical position right in front of us.
It was like the hand of God reached up and shook the plane.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
What?
And he kind of gave me the, hang on, let's figure this out.
Can you get it started?
There was kind of silence in the plane for a few minutes.
I can't.
I realized that nothing had happened that I was expecting to happen. I was expecting the plane to cartwheel and come apart in pieces.
We're alive.
A plane was not meant to float. It was gonna sink. I was getting out of the plane.
I
I opened the handle and kicked the door open. And I just undid my seatbelt and jumped out.
Decided to better get the hell out of the aircraft.
Jim was still in the pilot seat, and I was reaching in going, come on, come on, come on, come on, get out, get out, get out.
It was so stormy. I mean, the wind was blowing so hard, the waves were so big and crashing, and it seemed like the sea was going to swallow anything, including us. The airplane began to sit lower and lower into the water within just a few moments.
The men have no choice. They grab hold of anything that will keep them afloat and jump into the terrifying seas. If a bolt strikes the water even several feet away from the men, the shock could still kill them.
Okay.
Jim is getting increasingly anxious about his father.
My dad had now become very quiet. He was just sort of staring straight ahead, almost like he's in a daze.
It's an hour since they ditched, and their situation is becoming desperate. As his friend's father continues to deteriorate, Jens reaches a decision.
I was worried about John. I couldn't handle watching John die. I didn't want to be there for that.
Jim! Jim!
Jens and Jim separated from us for some reason.
We need to get help for your dad! I don't think anyone's coming! I'm gonna try and make it ashore!
My plan at that point was to leave Jim with my dad to care for my dad in case something happened.
Okay, let's do it! No, Jim! On my own!
And I said, come on, that's... Are you gonna swim by yourself? You gonna swim alone? You're just gonna leave us and swim alone?
That doesn't make sense! We should swim together!
I had already made up my mind at that point that I was leaving.
Jim, I need you to stay here. I need you to look after your dad. He's sick, Jim. He might not make it. And if he goes, I need you to take care of my dad. I don't want him to be on his own. Look, I need to go get help. I need to go now. Okay.
Jens was so insistent, and his logic seemed sound.
We'll all make it out of this, I promise.
My concern at that point was that my dad would recognize that I was leaving before I was far enough away.
Okay. I don't want my dad coming after me. You stay here until I'm out of sight, and then go back and tell him.
I said, I'll see you later on tonight or tomorrow, and you just keep swimming in that direction, and I'll do the same. And if they find me before they find you, I'll know where you're at, and vice versa.
We'll all make it out of this alive.
I could see him, and then I couldn't see him because of the waves, and then I could see him, and I couldn't see him.
They were one wave farther away, and then 2 waves farther away, and 3, and it just kept going until 300 yards away, you couldn't see him anymore.
Jens has only a vague idea in which direction the land lies. If he gets it wrong, he could end up swimming further out to sea. Jens is swimming in the right direction, but what he doesn't realize is that land is 10 miles away. An almost impossible swim through such heavy seas. Even if he makes it, a treacherous reef blocks his route to shore. The men have now been in the water for 8 hours.
I was wondering, how far has he made it? How far has he made it? And I remember looking at my watch and trying to calculate in my head how much speed he could be making through the water to shore, and just, peering off into the distance.
As night fell, the storm subsided. But Jens still has many hours swimming ahead of him before he can reach land and raise the alarm.
I'd been swimming for nearly 6 hours. I was thirsty, really thirsty.
Exhausted, Jens faces a new ordeal. A swarm of stinging jellyfish.
It felt like when your hand goes to sleep or your foot goes to sleep, just in little spots all over. And they were getting in my shorts, which is not a place you really want jellyfish.
The barrage of stings push Jens's already exhausted body to the verge of total collapse. Out in open water, John, Jim, and Bill wait. The men have no idea what lurks beneath them.
We didn't talk about what dangers in the water. We were in the water, there was no way to get out of it, so if I began worrying about it or talking about it or creating a situation in my mind, I thought, well, that's not going to be good.
What the hell was that?
What?
I felt something. It felt warm. It brushed against my legs.
I knew for sure there was something else in the water with us then.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
It brought back also to the reality that, hey, maybe something is stalking us.
Jim knows these waters are full of dangerous predators. One of the most feared is the giant Humboldt squid.
The squid are very aggressive, and they're very large, and they're very capable of killing a person. They are very easily provoked into a frenzy. And if you're in the water during that time, it could be very dangerous.
Mexican fishermen call the jumbo squid Diablos Rojos, red devils. They can grow up to 7 feet long and weigh more than 100 pounds. The squid's powerful tentacles pull the prey into its mouth, where it tears it to shreds with its razor-sharp beak. Whatever was stalking the men has gone away for now. All they can do is pray it won't come back. Jens has been swimming for over 10 hours. He's almost no strength left and is close to despair.
That's when I started hearing something. And couldn't really figure out at first what it was that I was hearing.
I looked towards one wing, the engine, and I saw a bit of oil coming out of the wing.
Costa!
What?
There's oil coming from the engine.
First of all, there were drops, and then it becomes a proper brownish line.
Pilot Costa Macandonatis tries to reassure the passengers.
It's nothing serious. Just sit back, keep your safety belts on.
Without oil, the engine will seize up and could catch fire. Costa has no choice.
Hey, what's that?
Mike.
It's just a precaution. I had to shut off the port engine.
The plane should be able to fly on one engine. But in the African heat, the air is thin, and with a full passenger load, it begins to lose altitude.
We need to make a precautionary landing.
Costa radios the control tower to get his coordinates so he can find a landing strip nearby.
What are they saying? You can't pick us up on the radar. Just look for a landing strip.
There's nothing out here. You've got to keep on flying.
I'm losing altitude. I can't. Catamaran requesting our position.
Their only lifeline is the radio.
Catamaran,
Gaborone. Damn! Lost radio contact.
Costa knows he's going to have to crash land.
I took Mike's hand, I took Neb's hand, and I said, God, I'm just asking for safe passage.
All I know that I have maybe a minute or a minute and a half to live, and I'm just worried about my children.
I remember elephants running in a panic because of the aeroplane coming.
I just saw the earth coming closer and closer and closer. I know that air crashes, you really don't survive.
Put your head between your knees now!
The impact should have killed them all.
I'm still alive.
I open my eyes. I see my wife. She's burning.
The metal's burning me! Help me, Mike!
When I touch the belt to unbuckle her, I realize it's very hot and I burn myself now.
The plane's leaking fuel tanks could explode at any moment.
We need to get out of that as quick as possible. Your body is kind of state of shock. You try to get up and you just fall down.
Guys, where's Neb?
We realize, but there is no Neb.
Where's Neb? It's in the plane. Neb, there. Still in the plane, let's get him.
We are panicking because we don't know how fast the aircraft's going to burn.
Are you okay? Let's get him out.
Shoulder up.
Neb, please. Is he still breathing? I don't know. Neb, it's okay.
The survivors are shocked and injured.
There's lots of blood around. My nose was broken.
Mike, Costa, and Carl's injuries are superficial. But Neb is in a bad way.
The pain was unbearable because, particularly of the ribs.
Please, breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe.
And I actually couldn't breathe.
Lift me up. Lift me up. Okay, I'll got you. I'll got you. I'll got you. Let's take him to the tree. Over there.
Neb has punctured his lung. He has to prop himself up in order to breathe.
I couldn't lie down. I had to stand most of the time. And I was hugging the tree.
Lynette sustained multiple injuries in the crash. She has damaged her spine.
I couldn't move. I couldn't move my legs. As soon as I tried to lift myself up for For some reason, I would feel dizzy and then I'll be forced to lie down.
And her left arm has been so badly burned that the nerves have been destroyed.
I didn't feel any pain. There was no pain at all. I was just worried about the fact that I can't get up, I can't do anything.
She needs immediate medical attention.
Don't worry, they'll come soon. We'll get you to a hospital.
The crash has destroyed the radio. But the passengers believe that the plane's emergency transmitter will soon bring rescue.